Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Davester. It's good to be back, I guess. I keep going on these undefined breaks and I need to buckle down and figure out a schedule. But life is getting busier and busier, so it's kind of hard to do that. But I'm working on it. It's fall and I hate it. I got cold. I got a cold right after homecoming, and I have to carry my dusty coat. My nose is always cold, and I'm always checking my tires and my tire pressure. And I'm just really paranoid about any surprise snow. I just feel like once you're adulting and like if you're any like normal 20 something, you should hate fall. And if you don't, learn to. Today, I will be talking about the most outrageous moments I've had at work as a server. So as some of you guys may know, I do work in a restaurant as a waiter, and pretty much I'm taking orders and giving people their food. And as simple as that sounds, the job can be very interesting. It can be very interesting and get very hectic and very crazy. And I think a big part of that are the people that you're serving. So the guests that we have. People bring a lot of different personalities and baggage with them. And you'd be really surprised at the things that I've heard. And and I just thought it would be really fun to do. And I even have a little something here to celebrate. I'll be taking a shot for every moment that I feel is super crazy on a scale from 1 to 10. If it's at least a 5, then I'm taking a shot. And I already checked. I don't have work tomorrow, so. Okay, so number one. I once had these two ladies come in one evening, and they came in, really energetic, really in deep conversation with each other. So I'm like, I have people like that. Oh, I don't want to bother too much. Just, make it very straightforward transaction. You get your food, you pay, you're out. So I introduced myself and I'm like, hi, my name is David. I'll be your server, so and so, so and so. And, they greet me, and I take their orders. Right after I take their orders, they're like, wait. If one of the ladies, she's just like she's acting like really like nervous in something, and her friend's like, I have to ask you something. I'm like, okay, we just met. Like, what do you want to ask me? But her friend's like, no, like, don't do it here. Like, come on, like, why are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, no, like, it's important. So I'm just like, okay. So I'm like, sure, like, what can I do for you? So she's like, if a man is about to get married, should he tell the woman that he's messing with that he's about to get married? It's like, let me stop. But that's too early. Okay. But no, seriously, she was just like, if a man is about to get married, should he tell the woman that he's messing with, that he's about to get married? And I'm just like, well, obviously, yeah. But I didn't say that because I was like, that sounded very personal. And the other lady looked very uncomfortable. So I was just like, well, and she was just like, your tip depends on this answer. And I was just like, what the I was just like, yo. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, personally, I feel like I'm too money focused that I let people kind of take advantage of that and like put me in ridiculous situations, which is not cool, but skirt. Anyways, so I was just like, all right, look, baby girl, my name's Dr. Phil. I'm no longer David. David has left the building. Okay? And here's what's up. Yes, it is wrong, obviously, because he's in one relationship, and no matter how serious our relationship was, and I'm here telling her, like, yo. And I think, turns out, it's about her friend that's sitting across the table. And then she's just like, ugh. And then her friend's like, I told you so, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just like, okay, let me go put your orders in because I don't want to be taking sides and I didn't want anyone to get mad at me. But, by the time I come back with their food, um, the other lady, she's not really upset. It's kind of like, I guess they were just having a discussion and they wanted like a third opinion. So I was just really shocked that they were just so open about such a personal situation. Um, yeah. So it didn't end there. So the next thing they do, they're like, "Okay, David, we got another question for you." I'm like, "Shawty, what's the thing about that tip?" And I'm like, "Dr. Phil speaking." I'm so then they're like, "Okay, if the man has if a woman is messing with a man, whatever, or she's about to enter a relationship with a man, she's about to get married to a man, and the man has had previous history of bankruptcy, should the man tell her, or should the wedding be called off because he can't tell her information like that? So, um, this one was definitely easier for me to answer. I was just like, honestly, like, if the bankruptcy is not a reflection of the guy's character, if it's not because, he's normally like um, I don't know, like bad with finances, or if it doesn't reflect his lack of commitment to a project or to a business or to a property, if it doesn't reflect any character traits of him, and if it was like just an incidental thing, then no, and the couple should move forward with their relationship. And the past is the past, and that's part of his past, and it was just a situation he ended up in, and I don't think it needs to be brought up. But if it was something that he did, it's a direct result of something he did or a choice that he made, and it's like still affecting him, in the present tense, then it should be brought up. Mind you, I'm just like, why am I talking about all this stuff with these people? But I'm trying to get that tip, you feel me? So, she's just like, true. They were kind of just listening to just hear what my opinion was. I don't think they really had an answer on that for themselves. So, the rest of the dinner proceeded uh, fine. Everything was chill or whatever. Coming to check on them, offer them any refills on drinks, blah blah blah. And then one of the ladies is just like, David. She's like, and her friend again is like really embarrassed, really nervous. She's like, don't ask him that. Don't ask him that. What are you doing? What are you doing? And she's like, David, is it true that her friend's like, oh, don't ask him that. Don't ask him that. Don't ask him that. Like, I'm just like, yo, how much more wild are these ladies gonna get? Like, this tip better be worth it. Like, but I low key, I'm like getting more interested in the conversation because it's a boring night, and I'm just like, yo, this is mad messy though. But anyways, so ladies, like, my friend wants to know whether black people like oral. I'm just like, but yeah, she's like, yeah, she wants to know if black people like. I'm just like, is that racist? Or is it like prejudice or something in my head? But I'm just like, first of all, everyone likes okay, like everyone, no one's gonna turn that down. But and she's like, duh, like to her friend. But then I'm like, but there is like a myth, I think, that black women don't like to give. It's more stigmatized when it's the female performing it versus, the male performing it on the female. So she's just like, that could be true. mind you, the lady's black, so she just like, she's speaking on it like, and her friend is just like fake super embarrassed, but I'm just like, you think you're embarrassed? Like, do you guys see what you're asking me in my apron at work? Like, are you kidding me? You know, Finally, it turned out that was the last question, thankfully. So the rest of the night went, pretty smoothly. They finally ended up leaving and they left, I think they left like a $5 tip. Their meal wasn't that expensive, but I just feel like if I didn't answer those things, would I have still gotten $5? That was probably the most explicit interaction I've had with guests before. Um, What'd I give that? 1 to 10. I think a five. I think I'd give that like a 7 because that could affect someone's life, and that's OC. Like the stuff that I asked them could affect their lives. So let's get it. Let's get into it. Next situation. I had this nice couple come in. They're pretty chill, and mind you, this restaurant is American, casual cuisine, nothing super fancy. So I take their orders, and the wife orders a burger. The husband orders like maybe a Philly cheesesteak or some type of sandwich or whatever. So then the wife, after she places her order, she asked me, no, right before she placed her order, she was just like, do you know what is the fat lean ratio in your burgers? And I'm just like, are you serious? I've never even thought about that in my life. Like, I've never even thought about that before I started working here. Like, how do you look at a burger and be wondering about the fat lean ratio? Man, I'm just like, I'll go check for you. She's like, okay, thank you. I'm just like, bro. Like, honestly, people are just so bougie and extra for no reason. But then she's just like, her husband's just like, are you serious, babe? And she's just like, okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry. I was just curious. I'll just get the burger. I'll just get the burger. So I'm like, okay, like, duh, get with the program. And then, I'm asking her what drink she wants. I'm like, do you want a Coke, Diet Coke? Sprite, lemonade. She's like, oh, I think I want the lemonade. I'm like, okay, great. And she's just like, do you guys have them freshly squeezed lemonade? I'm like, again, like, and usually I'm like a very facially expressive person, so I have to like try really hard not to let people see my facial reaction to anything. Um, but I couldn't. I was just like, I was just like, no, it's Minute Maid. I'm like thinking, do you think we have time? Do you think we have a factory worker in the back squeezing lemons and squeezing lemons and slicing them up and making homemade recipes? Like, what? Don't you see the machines? There's fountain drinks. We literally push the glass against the handle and stuff comes out. And she's just like, oh, you guys don't have, I'm just like, we have Minute Maid, ma'am. And she's just like, okay, I'll just take that. And I'm just like, she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm just like, it's fine. Just don't act stupid shit like that again. Come on. Come on. Come on. On 1 to 10, I would honestly give that a 3 because it was not really outrageous now that I think about it. It was more so kind of stupid and kind of annoying, and I'm glad it ended. I want to just leave it at 3 today. The final outrageous moment, one of the most outrageous moments I've had at work, would be witnessing my first walkout. So I don't know why. I guess it happens more often than people realize. But yeah, one of my coworkers, I think she'd been fed up for weeks, and one night she just had it and pretty much went off. And our restaurant's pretty small, so it's something that everyone kind of sees happening. Word around the block is that, this server in particular is pretty pissed off because she doesn't like her section and she feels like it's not busy enough. She doesn't have enough guests. So it's like I get where she's coming from, and it happens. People have those days, whatever. But sections are always changing, so there's always another day to get a better section. There's always ways to work your sections and ways that you'll still make money. So we're working, and she's pissed. She's not really doing a lot. Next thing you know, this is around like 7-ish at night. Next thing you know, I hear like yelling coming from the back of the room, from the manager's office, and I like quickly just glance behind me, and I see the server come out, and she's just like, "Don't fucking mess with me again, blah blah blah. You keep playing." I'm just like, Mr. Crab meme, like, what is going on right now? I'm just like, but I'm taking the order and but I'm trying not to let my guests know that I'm really trying to figure out what's going on right now. She literally throws her cash that she owes the restaurant on the table, and she just storms out of the restaurant. And I'm just like, she didn't even clock out. Even at this point, my guests are trying to edge around me so that they can see what's going on. And man, it was crazy because I've never seen people I've never been in that situation before. For the most part, I'm very patient because I'm trying to get my money. But if I have any disagreements and stuff, I usually just handle it privately. I'm not the type of person to blow up like that on another whole adult in public. You can catch charges for that stuff. We're not in high school anymore. You have to be very, very careful with how you confront people. The server, she's gone. She quit. They tried to do some type of counseling talks between her and the manager, but look, if you were to reach that point, there's no talks. I was literally scared that girl was gonna come in one day and just start beating on people. I come home, and it turns out that someone literally, who's one of the customers, wrote a review on Google talking about, everything was fine. There was some cursing and yelling, and one of the servers, I think, quit. And I'm just like, yo, you got people on Google reviews right now. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that was crazy. I've never been in a situation before. I've never been in that situation before, and it really kind of woke me up to people are frustrated and people want money, and this work life will people have low tolerance, and if they feel threatened, if they feel you are trying to get in the way of their cash flow, they're gonna pop off, man. And there's also people that are just unprofessional. That's also a thing. There's just people as it is, as they are, and they're just not meant to have, jobs like that for a long time. So, yeah. I don't know. From 1 to 10, I would give that an 8 because the server called back and said, "And tell that bitch," she said, "Tell that bitch I'm gonna beat her ass if I see her." I was dead, fam. And then she was just "I'm just joking," and then started laughing, and then she hung up. I was just like, yo, 1 to 10, that's an 8. Oh man, that was OC. Oh man, if I do any more um outrageous moments, guys, I'm gonna end up falling asleep while I'm recording myself. So I'm just gonna end this here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Work sucks. It does, but what makes it interesting is, I guess, those crazy stories, as long as it doesn't happen to you. So, stay safe out there, guys. Thanks you again, and stay tuned for my next vlog.
Yeah, I thank God for my life, yeah, yeah, ooh, ooh. I've been through a lot and I swear it don't make me believe.